Hi, I'm Kayleigh Wyles. I'm an environmental psychologist and I'm based at the University of Plymouth.
I'm Ian Baxter. I'm a Professor of Historic Environment Management at Heriot-Watt University up in Edinburgh.
I'm Dr. Nicholas Farina. I'm Associate Professor in Dementia Research based at the University of Plymouth.
I'm Lauren Molloy. I'm a Senior Marine Natural Capital Advisor at the Joint Nature Conservation Committee.
I'm Mel Austen. I'm Professor of Ocean and Society at the University of Plymouth.
At the moment, the JNCC are working on a programme to kind of understand how we can incorporate ecosystem services from the marine environment and the thinking of value and natural capital and how that can be used in management and decision making. And so we were looking at kind of where the knowledge and literature is at the moment. And we understand that there's quite a gap in the knowledge on this kind of topic.
From an environmental psychologist point of view as well, there's a lot of evidence to show that nature is beneficial and that the coast and the marine environment is particularly beneficial to human mental health and well-being. Spending time on the coast is good for us, but we don't really know why.
Coming at it from a business school point of view, of course, in terms of tourism, leisure, recreation and tourism and the subtle differences between them. Also, we know that the coast and marine tourism is incredibly important. But again, it's understanding a bit more about who is accessing this and what are the opportunities both for people and for the businesses and managers of organisations on the coastline, but also really, really importantly, who isn't accessing this as well.
And from the sustainable management of marine resources, the actual biodiversity and wildlife, it's also potentially going to help in management and conservation and protection to understand the values people place on these aspects of the things they engage with for recreation, for leisure.
It's really from kind of this applied health perspective, I suppose, we need to be considering about groups who may struggle to access coastal environments and find out ways that we can effectively engage with them and ensure that they are gaining the most, but potentially when it's quite difficult for them to engage in these environments in the first place.
From an environmental psychologist point of view, I look at the person, the individual, and try to understand using our different theories and methods to unpick a bit more about those individuals, who they are, understand how they're engaging, so what behaviours, what activities, what sports and things are they doing in this environment, and crucially in this particular PhD is looking at those health and wellbeing benefits. So this can be measured in multiple ways, from how do you feel, are you happy when you're on the coast, to more general things like life satisfaction.
I'm an archaeologist but based in the business school. I come at things from very much a sort of a visitor experience point of view of people, not only to how is the experience for people within landscapes and in coastal places and marine engagement, how does the experience get created and managed, and also from the sort of the management aspect of organisations and businesses involved in providing the opportunities to engage with the coast, how do they engage through the lens of tourism or recreation or leisure?
Somebody who sits at that interdisciplinary cusp, I also love working with the kind of people we've got here, because the dimensions of this are so much broader than just what species are there and are they in good condition or what habitats. But, the idea of who can access them, how can they access them, how can we improve that all really, really is important stuff. So it's fantastic to work in an interdisciplinary team rather than to just work in a small silo just doing ecology.
My background is mainly working with people with dementia, and there's so much of what we're going to learn through this PhD process is going to be very applicable to a broader kind of knowledge base about kind of finding out how can we actually support people, and being able to kind of create those public health messaging is also something very important going forward in the future.
My background is in marine ecology and assessing the status of marine ecology in national reports and things like that. And also I work on understanding how we can take information and apply it to either management tools or decision makers. So I think I can provide that kind of perspective from kind of government point of view.
The fact that it isn't a very interdisciplinary PhD, we are expecting, like any PhD, that there's going to be learning and training throughout these 3 and a bit years. So for potential candidates, I'd say having some experience in at least one of these areas. So it could be that you have some experience in social science, you have a bit more understanding of the methods that we use, or maybe some of the theories, or you can have experience in something like natural capital and ecosystem services and that side. So I would probably stress the main thing that we're looking for is candidates who are open-minded and wanting to learn about the different disciplines and to try to integrate the different approaches and perspectives.
I think also, someone that's interested in working with lots of different disciplines and maybe has quite an interest in problem solving. I think this would be a really good topic for somebody like that.
The PhD does involve focus groups. It involves talking to people. It involves understanding people's interests and behaviours. So really encourage someone who is happy to have those conversations and also work with our stakeholders as well.
Because this is quite a diverse supervisory team as well, and that provides a really rich opportunity for the student to dive into really different areas of expertise.
Because there's so many disciplines in here, and we're not expecting to have a candidate who is an expert in all of these areas.
And what kinds of careers do you think this PhD could lead to?
This is going to set up a candidate for all sorts of careers. So obviously, the first thing you think about is a research career or an academic career. And I think, yes, it sets you up for that, because we are short of interdisciplinary people, transdisciplinary people in academia. But I also know that in government arm's length bodies, they're very, very keen on people who can take this broader interdisciplinary approach, particularly in the marine sciences, but across those bodies like Natural England, JNCC, Nature Scott, Natural Resources Wales. They're all keen for people who've had this kind of training. And then as Ian has talked about, the tourism industry, I think there's going to be an increasing importance for people who maybe are more entrepreneurial, who want to think about how would you do ecotourism and how would you set it up in a better way. Also local authorities, I think they'll be very interested in people who've got these skills. So I actually think, and I hope, that our CDT SuMMeR PhDs are going to set people up for a huge variety of possible careers.
Would you encourage potential applicants to contact you if they have any questions, and who should they approach in the first instance?
I'm down as the first supervisor, so it'd probably be best to approach me, and then I can always signpost and introduce other people as well. So in the first instance, drop me an email. I'm Kayleigh.Wyles@plymouth.ac.uk, and happy to help.